We're 33 seconds early. Who cares? Welcome back to the show. Welcome to the show here on Thursday. It's me by my lonesome show. Steph Sabra couldn't be here today. She's got to do some other stuff, but we'll have Steph on after this show is done with our Prey reaction. That'll be out today. But we're going to be talking about the Michael biopic trailer that dropped today. And man, there's been a lot of hype on this movie in general, and obvious reasons. And I started thinking about it, and it's funny because I actually saw someone in the comments section that said the same thing, that this could be a movie that hits $1 billion. It could be a biopic. I don't know if any biopic has ever done that. You guys can tell me in the comments, but I don't believe so. It's possible. Will it happen? We'll discuss that for sure. What is going to happen is Gremlins 3. It's going to happen. Finally. Mark Riley is somewhere cheering. And then the Russos are joining the Rambo prequel. And, there's some other stories. Our buddy Xolo Maridueña is going to be in One Piece. I'm excited about that. So there's also a big story I wanted to cover about theater owners that are talking about being afraid of Disney to oppose its acquisition of 20th Century Fox. So I want to read that, talk about that. So let's get into it. It's going to be me and you today. So start getting those questions in. We're going to do a big Q&A by the end of it. So whatever you want, you got me. Make sure you start asking questions. Now, good news. Good news is we already have 2. Hell yeah. Good start. So let's start the show. Kristian Harloff Show here today with me. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Kristian Harloff Show here today on this Thursday. I like being with you guys sometimes alone. I mean, yes, I wish Steph was here today. She couldn't make it, but I was like, you know what? Because Luke was like, oh, you can ask someone else to do it. I'm like, nah, I'm just going to hang out like we did a couple weeks ago. I didn't have a show on Wednesday. Well, that's not true. I didn't have a live show yesterday because I put my Famke Janssen interview. If you didn't watch that, you're fucked because that was a great conversation. It's a really good conversation. It was a really great show. And so you're missing out on a good one if you missed out on that. But we put in the links in the clips rather on the clips channel. So we'll have that. We'll have that on there with all the things that we talked about. It was pretty great. She was great. Excited to have her on the show. So then today we're going to have a lot of different topics, a lot of different questions. As I've been telling you guys, we're trying to give you as many little updates on the pilot as I can. What I will say is that we had a conversation the other day on the Kickstarter and what both the director and the producer came up with. I think for people who are interested in the film industry and the entertainment industry, we're going to give an opportunity that I don't think a lot of other Kickstarters have done. I could be mistaken, and I'm newer to the Kickstarter side of things, but I think because of the particular access that we might have with this team we've assembled, that there might be some really intriguing reasons to join this thing. And as we're going to be building, we're not building this out, and we're not trying to film this like, and nothing against what was my passion project in Grasping at Straws. I loved that show when I made it in 2007. But if you see it, it looks like, a bunch of people who was able to raise a little money back then at that time and shoot with what we could. What we're trying to accomplish is, if you wouldn't know the difference when you saw it from the show we're going to produce and a show that's already on Netflix, Apple, Amazon, whatever it might be, that's the goal. And to get you guys involved in that process, whether it's, seeing like the official casting process, the getting the director of photography, getting, more and more people involved in making it like a real production. We want the fans to be as involved in it as anything else. So that's kind of what we're doing. So I'm giving you a little bit more updates on that. And we should have, I was talking to both the director and producer yesterday, and we should have very soon should be having them on the show, and probably just going to full show with them discussing everything we got going on. So thanks for everybody who's been reaching out and been excited for it. We'll be talking about it quite a lot on everything that we're doing. And then I have a lot going on the channel right now. Oh, so this is, I guess, it's not terrible news. It's just news that you just gotta, if you've been watching the Demon Slayer stuff, you just gotta wait because Winston and I were supposed to record on Monday, um, for the movie, the Mugen Train movie, and I had to go into the city for both Prey, and then I had to go in a little early because of just stuff regarding to the pilot, so I couldn't shoot it. So today we were supposed to do it, and our schedule didn't align. So we're gonna no Demon Slayer this weekend. We'll be back next weekend on that. But what we do have coming up, Prey will be up after this. Sam's supposed to come in today to shoot Oppenheimer, so Oppenheimer should be up. I'm gonna get the Welcome to Derry episode up on Sunday. Ming's coming in to do It Chapter 2, and and we'll be doing more and more and more. So that's what's going on so far. I got out of the theater for Running Man, hopefully on Monday. Been watching a lot of these movies on on the app, so maybe I'll get a couple of reviews out there for you guys. So there's a lot going on. I'm excited about it. So, and yeah, Sam's back. Everybody else is back. We're doing some stuff. All right. Yes, the pilot does have a name. Someone asked, but I'm not. Everything will be revealed once it's ready to go. I mean, like I said, you guys, as I know that it's been like we've been talking about. You guys know it's coming, but and as I've said, once I got a month basically. Once it's up, I got a month to really make this show or get this show funded. So it's going to be on every single thing that I do, and I'll be on different. I'm going to try to make. I already reached out to some people and getting on their shows and other things. So, no, Running Man's out next week. I'm going to see Running Man on Monday. So that's it. That's everything going on. Let's get to some topics because this morning, as I was about to make Prey, as I just mentioned, I was going to make Prey reaction live. Luke sent me the trailer. He said, check it out. I said, what? He says, it's the Michael trailer. I said, oh man, that's a very highly anticipated trailer. And trailer was released. So the Michael Jackson biopic, Michael, dropped earlier this morning, and people are buzzing about it. Lionsgate has premiered the teaser trailer for Michael, which is an upcoming biopic about Michael Jackson. It's being directed by Antoine Fuqua and produced by Bohemian Rhapsody producer Graham King. Project is described as the cinematic portrayal of the life and legacy of one of the most influential artists the world has ever known. It follows Michael Jackson's life beyond the music, tracing his journey from the discovery of his extraordinary talent as the lead of the Jackson 5 to the visionary artist whose creative ambition fueled a relentless pursuit to become the biggest entertainer in the world. The film highlights both his life offstage and some of the most iconic performances from his early solo career and adds that this is where the story begins. The movie did undergo 3 weeks of reshoots in June to rework some of the third act. Michael Jackson's real-life nephew, Jafar Jackson, is playing Michael in the film, which also stars Coleman Domingo, Nia Long, Miles Teller, Laura Harrier, Kat Graham, Lorenz Tate, and Derek Luke. John Logan penned the script for the movie that opens on April 24th. That's right before the summer season really hits. That's right there. Sometime, not too long ago, that was the beginning of the summer season with Avengers and Fast and Furious and all that. So I'm so curious with this movie. And as you saw in the title, will Michael Jackson hit $1 billion? We should probably get rid of that Jackson because that doesn't make any sense. Will Michael hit $1 billion? But I think that the question is going to be that fan base. The fan base is unreal. It's one of the most powerful fan bases like ever. That's why I even thought this question could be interesting because from what I know, there's no biopic that has ever hit $1 billion. And if they got that hardcore group out there that support Michael Jackson from forever, Could they do it? I still think it's a very, very difficult task. And I do think, elephant in the room, he's also marred by controversy. That's going to be a huge conversation in general. But I do think that it's going to do very, very well. I think it's going to do very, very well. I do not think it's going to make $1 billion, though. That's just, it's too tough. It's too tough in general, regardless of the controversy. I just don't think a biopic is going to get that many people out in the theater, especially in the fact that we can get it on, streaming a month later. And all the other summer movies are coming out. But I will not take that audience lightly. I would not be surprised if it hit $1 billion. I would not be surprised. It's not an out of the question thing. And if there's one biopic that was going to do it, it would be this one. It looks epic. I mean, his nephew looks incredible. There's the only thing that I had an issue with in the trailer is the nose when during the 80s, it looked fake. Didn't look like a real nose. It looked like a big prosthetic nose. And then they showed the nose for what it was in like later on during like the Dirty Diana era and that stuff, and it looked legit. But the nose was terrible. It looked like a Cyrano de Bergerac nose or something. It threw me off. But I don't know if it's going to be like that the entire time. But I will say that it looks epic again. And Fuqua now, my favorite is, you got to do your research. You got to do your research before you say things. Shut your ass. The Antoine Fuqua wasn't able to. He shot the ending, and then there was kind of, I guess there's some controversy with it. We don't really know the full report of it. They didn't have rights for certain things or whatever it might be. Nonetheless, the end of the third act had to be changed, and they changed things up. Now, how much of the controversy are they going to actually cover? How much of his life? If they do cover it, how's it going to go over? If they don't cover it, how's it going to go over? So I wonder. I'm not sure. I don't know how it's going to work. Yeah. No, I don't. I don't mind sometimes when people, again, the guy who said do your research, that's fine. I don't throw people like that off the channel because the guy was passionate about the project. I did throw somebody off the channel who says this guy puts an ad in the middle of the review. Thirsty? Like, no, asshole. I have to make sure, in order to pay all of my people and find stuff that I like, that I hit a certain number to make sure that people are aware of it. So that's where it is. You are no longer on this channel, so it doesn't matter. But man, I wonder, is the trailer already? I mean, it's already catching. I can tell you, you can always tell the interest of it. You can always tell the interest in it. It's like, okay, the trailer is popping online, reactions popping online, and that means people really want to discuss this. They really want to talk about it. And I think overall, this movie is going to perform very, very well. What do you guys think? You think it's going to do well? You think it's not going to do well? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. To my band friend who said, why do you do ads? I apologize. Let's go. You guys know how excited I get talking about trade coffee. And it's holiday season, man. And for you guys, Black Friday came early because it is the season of giving, or I don't know, maybe it's just the perfect excuse to discovering something new, because trade your match to coffees from the country's best independent roasters. They deliver fresh and tailored to your taste. A little gift for you and your mornings. You know how long I've been using trade. You know how long I've been enjoying trade. It's a part of my thing. I got a little trade mug. That's how much I love them. It's the #1 coffee destination in the U.S. because their team of expert baristas, tasters, and Q graders, they use real coffee knowledge to match you with the coffees that you're going to love. They curate over 450 coffees so you can try something new with every delivery, and their guaranteed variety no matter your roast and taste preference. Because each bag, it's roasted to order and it's delivered fresh to your door at prices comparable to grocery brands, but with cafe level quality in every cup. And I can certainly attest to that. I just love the way it smells in the morning in my kitchen. It's the best. I just like that I can, they tailor it to me. And I said, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a dark roast. I'm looking for something that I can, that I really can enjoy, kind of a smoky flavor. And they do it. They know how to do it. I dig it, and I've been with them for a long time. So the best deal for you guys right now is that Trade's offering 50% off a 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/Christian. 10% off gifts. That's drinktrade.com/Christian. You get 50% off of 1 month and 10% off of gifts. Come on, drinktrade.com/Christian. Giving you a deal here. It's the easiest thing in the world for me to do is talk about how much I love True Classic. I love True Classic. They're just the best. I wear them everywhere. I'm wearing one right now. The guys at True Classic, they started with a simple mission. You bring premium, comfortable clothing to the masses because looking good and feeling great, it shouldn't come with a designer price tag. And clearly people agree, myself included, with over 25 million shirts sold to 5 million customers, more than 200,000 5-star reviews. True Classic has become a staple in closets everywhere. The brand's not just about fabric or fit. It really is about confidence. I walk into a room and I feel good wearing my True Classic gear. That's what makes True Classic the perfect gift this holiday season. Doesn't matter if you're shopping for your dad, your brother, your partner, and now even women and kids. True Classic has something for everyone. The same premium comfort and perfect fit that build the brand are now available for the whole family. They fit where they should, they feel incredible, and they don't break the bank. Yet, you get the tailored look without sacrificing comfort or blowing the holiday budget. I wear them. I wear jeans, True Classic. I wear shirts, True Classic. I'm getting a hat for myself for Christmas. Skip the guesswork and the overpriced designer stuff. Give comfort, give confidence, give True Classic. You can find them anywhere. You go to Amazon, you go to Target, you go to Costco, you go to Sam's Club. But you got to head on over to trueclassic.com/Christian to grab the perfect gift for everyone on your list. I promise you, this will be the best gift you give anyone this holiday season. I'm not kidding you. True Classic, Trade. I mean, we are approaching the holiday season, and I'm handing you the gifts to say this is what you get people. The True Classic thing will go over. You'll be the most popular person in the room with how much they love that. And if they're coffee drinkers, come on, man, come on. So we mentioned Rambo recently. I think we were talking about with Mike about what was going on, the prequel. Well, now it looks like the Russo Brothers are part of it too, which is interesting. I saw that today. So check it. The Russo Brothers are boarding the Rambo prequel. They're going to be pretty busy over the next couple of years, it looks like. But frequent Avengers directors, the Russos, also known as the Russos, have boarded the upcoming Rambo prequel at Lionsgate. AGBO, the studio founded by the Russos, will be producing the project, with Joe and Anthony Russo both serving as executive producers on the film, much like they do on the Chris Hemsworth-led Extraction film series on Netflix. Recruit star Noah Centineo is in final negotiations to star as Rambo, played by Stallone across 5 films, starting with the original First Blood, set during the Vietnam War and filmed in Thailand. Rambo will explore the formative experiences that shaped one of cinema's most memorable action heroes. Xolo Maridueña directs the film, who is expected to begin production in early 2026. I'm still very torn about this project. I just don't know if it's necessary, and I can understand frustration. Like, what is necessary? And I've said it myself. Like, what is necessary? Because I said the same thing about Cobra Kai when it was announced. I was like, is that necessary? And then it was for various seasons. Can they make it work without Stallone, though? I mean, like I said, the original book is one of my favorite books of all time still, and what it was able to do and the mind of the soldier. I mean, the war was still going on when that book was released. It was released in like 72. So the psyche of Rambo, and to see where he was leading into it, I still don't have enough game tape on Noah Centineo. I just don't. I saw that our friend Bobby Jackson wrote a question about warfare, and I'm just going to kind of double repeat it. He asked me if I had finished Warfare. The answer is yes, I did. I finished it last night. He's in it. He doesn't really have much to do. He's in it, and he's not bad in it, but he doesn't really have a prominent role. He's in it, and he's believable as a soldier, which is a plus. But he didn't do anything. There was nothing that he did that I was like, oh, that guy's Rambo. I still haven't seen anything yet, and I don't know. We'll see. But I could come back to you after seeing the movie going, what a great choice that was. I mean, this guy gets it. I don't know. It's not easy to look. This is a very similar situation with Xolo, because the difference is, like I said, there's a lot about that Rambo character that you could remake First Blood and make it more towards the book. People will still compare it, but it's still a character that was made famous and only been played by one guy so far. And you got to get the essence down, because that's the other question though too, is that this is what hasn't really been answered yet. Is this in the way like Running Man? Running Man is coming out, and Running Man is not a sequel or a remake of the Arnold movie. It's a retelling of the Stephen King story. So you can't compare it to the Arnold stuff. You can compare it to the essence of what Stephen King wrote, which is fair. Is that the same with this? Is this a prequel to the movies, or is this a prequel to the book? Is this a prequel to the character in general? Is this a prequel that will then lead to a remake of the movie, or is this a prequel that serves in the canon of the Stallone films? That hasn't really been explained yet, which I'm very curious about. Now, the Russos coming on board. As far as producing goes, it doesn't make me think it's going to be phenomenal. It doesn't make me think it's going to be bad, but like, it's not like, oh, the Russos are on as producers. Everything else they've touched has been tremendous. It hasn't been. I'm excited they're coming back for Doomsday and Secret Wars. That's great. I think that they know that world. They can do it. I don't necessarily know how it is. So, having them on board, it doesn't hurt, because and by the time the movie comes out, they'll have, or they're already shooting it, but by the time it comes out, Doomsday, they'll have another hit on their hands at that point. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays. Put your thoughts in there in general. What do you think? Do you think that having the Russos part of it is great? Do you think that, again, they should be making this thing, not making this thing? Put your thoughts in there. Please, please, please let me know. That is an 80s movie that is making a resurgence, but it is not the only one. There's another 80s movie that has another life, and that, of course, Gizmo Kaka. The Gremlins Part 3 coming out 2027. A lot of questions about this movie. So it's Columbus, Spielberg. They are setting Gremlins 3 for 2027. There's Spike. Warner Brothers is set to revive its Gremlins franchise. The company confirming that not only is the project happening, it already has locked a date. Speaking during Warner Brothers Discovery third quarter earnings call on Thursday, David Zaslav announced the green light of a new Gremlins film. Spielberg is back on board as the executive producer via his Amblin Entertainment. Also on board is the original film's writer, Chris Columbus, who will produce and direct the film. Scripting duties are going to Final Destination Bloodlines duo Zach Levitsky and Adam B. Stein, who will work with Columbus. November 19, 2027 release date has been set, though a big question will be about tone. That was my question. The original 84 was a dark comedy with horror elements. It was a big success, scoring $151 million domestically from an $11 million budget. The sequel in 1990, Gremlins 2 New Batch, was much more a comedy, one effectively satirizing the first film. The movie made just $41 million at the box office, but has its share of fans too. I don't know how. It's Bibiani and Mance, the only two fans of that movie, and it drives me crazy. Warner's has been gouging interest in the property via the animated series Secrets of the Mogwai, which launched in 2023. Okay. Let's start with this. Why there's no one on? Me and Roxy? Roxy's not here. Roxy's not here. There's no Roxy here. Thank you. I'm not talking to Luke, by the way. That's me talking to myself. Okay. So I think that this makes sense to make 100%. If you're making all these other nostalgic type of properties and the technology has changed, I think they should use puppets I don't think they should use CGI gremlins. I don't want to see CGI gremlins. I want to see puppets. I want to see real puppets running around the place and causing havoc like they did in the 1984 version. Tone, the numbers speak for themselves. I don't care if there's, if Bibiani and Mance are running the fan club for that movie. There's like 25 people who like that movie. Majority of people get the tone of that original, and it's a reason why you look at the math. That's the one that did well. They should go back to that, and you should really try to capture that again. What makes me think they will is because of the writers that they got. They got the Final Destination Bloodline writers to capture that tone again. I really liked Bloodline. I think it's one of the best Final Destination movies that they've done so far. And it was clever, and they added something fresh to the franchise, which could have been, again, beaten into the ground. So that's a positive to me that they're doing that. I like that they brought them on board. That's a good plan, at least for me. So I think that it again makes sense. Now the question again will be: is it too late for Gremlins to succeed in the theater? What kind of budget are you working with on that? Because that is a major question for everything. Like what is getting people into the theater? What isn't? I mean, it's just not a theater friendly thing. And there's something we've talked about it till we're blue in the face, right? The ticket prices, the window of how fast it is to now that you can see a movie. You don't have to rush out unless it's an absolute necessity to see it in the theater. People are horrendous in the movie theater, and the movie theaters don't do anything about it. So it's like, why do I want to go? It's like it almost is like that scene at the end of Gremlins when all the Gremlins are in the theater. That's what it's like going to the movies now with regular people. It's a horrible experience. It's horrible. And the movie theaters the theaters are so stupid. They're so stupid that they continue to allow it to happen. That's why they're losing as much money as they are, and that's why they're jacking up prices and everything too. People, it's just not a fun time to go. But will the Gremlins be able to get people in the theater? I don't know. To me, it seems like an HBO Max type event. But I'd like to see the Gremlins in the theater. How about you guys? You care about the Gremlins? Not want to see the Gremlins? Think the Gremlins are mid? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. Tell you what movies will do well in the theater. Probably going to continue to do well in the theater. That's video game movies if done correctly. Nintendo has a couple hits on their hand. And the new Mario Brothers movie's coming out not too far from now. Well, apparently it's and then Zelda's coming out. Apparently there's more Nintendo movies that are coming up. Nintendo has announced that it has plans to release more films, all based on their classic video game titles at a fairly consistent rate in the near future. To date, the company has only released one this century, which was the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was a massive hit with fans in the box office. They are following that up with the Super Mario Galaxy movie and then Zelda. In a presentation to investors today, Nintendo confirmed it's building a framework for a consistent release cadence of movies from now on. The slide showed the 3 films discussed about and added that we are continuing to prepare for the ongoing release of movies in the future with several more planned. There are no hints on what it might be, but speculation is Donkey Kong to Kirby, Metroid, Star Fox. Star Fox would be cool. Star Fox would be cool. I'd like to see that. Look, this is the one that is a no-brainer where if you're a company and you're hesitant about making movies, and then you finally do one, you finally get a Super Mario Brothers movie out there, because after that 93 disaster, you've actually put out an animated film and it crushes. It makes $1 billion. According to what do we got next? You follow that up with the sequel. You follow other things. You do spin-offs in there. Finally they came across on Zelda. Zelda, I think, is live action from what I gather. So I am very, very, I understand. I get it. Of course, you beef up production. Now, don't just do a quantity over quality thing, though, but find your titles. That would be great to see a Star Fox animated. It'd be amazing. The other things that they have a lot of great games, and you talk about nostalgia, but you could do some stuff that really pulls. So having them do that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. I'm curious what other movies or what other games they could do. I mean, there's so many spin-offs in Mario that you could do in general, but I would like to see them do certain things where you pull from some of the games themselves, meaning like some of the storylines that were happening. I want to see if they can do that. I'd like to see a list of all the old titles too from Nintendo, all the way from like the mid '80s until I don't know last year. So I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. What is this? I didn't mean to. What is that? I don't understand. What does this mean, Phil? What are we talking about? I don't know what the hell Phil was talking about. So what advice? The hell are you talking about? People don't realize it when you're just writing stuff in the thing. It could be about anything. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So I like that they're doing Zelda. I really dig that they're doing Zelda. I think Zelda could be a Lord of the Rings type thing if they do it the right way. As far as scale goes, as far as epic nature goes, and all that. So put your thoughts in there. Let me know. What would you want to see as far as Nintendo? Yeah, and a good question. Nintendo owns Punch Out. I mean, they had Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That's a great question. A Punch Out video game with Little Mac? That'd be great. A movie? Great call. Great call. I would love that. Okay, let's see. Let's talk about this one because I was excited to see this announcement. Yesterday they announced. So I told you guys one of my favorite experiences ever was being proven wrong, thinking that there was going to be a toxic fan base attacking me because I didn't love their beloved, or I didn't know their beloved thing, and I was going in as kind of a noob, and that people were going to give me shit for it. So here we go. And that was when I was doing the One Piece reactions. And turned out to be the exact opposite. Turned out to be the exact opposite. They were the most loving, wonderful fan base that I have ever encountered in this space since I've been doing it. Love it. So I was excited to react to that entire series, and it made me say I'm definitely going to be reacting to the second one for sure. And what a cast they've got so far. And Joe Manganiello's coming in, and so they announced something yesterday that I thought was pretty great, and I'm always rooting for this kid. Had the opportunity to. I started interviewing him. He just turned 17 years old, and now Xolo Maridueña has landed a key One Piece role. Xolo has landed one of the biggest roles in the live-action adaptation of One Piece to date in the Pirate Fantasy Adventures third season. Maridueña is set to portray Portgas the Ace. Ace is a high-ranking member of a powerful pirate crew and an eater of a fire devil fruit. He also has deep ties to Monkey D. Luffy's past and becomes a very pivotal character in the seasons to come. Maridueña has long been fan cast in the role, so the casting comes as little surprise. Character is known for his shredded body, which is often on display, as his outfit generally consists of dark shorts and boots, a bright orange hat, and little else, bar some accoutrement. He marks the second major new casting for the show's third season, following Cole Escola being cast as a flamboyant pirate Bon Clay. Production on the third season will begin by the end of this month in Cape Town, South Africa. Second season is set to air on March 10th, 2026. I love this. Look, I don't know. I'm not going to, like I said, no, One Piece was not a video game. It was a manga or something, wasn't it? But no, it was anime. Right? Yeah, it was anime. So I don't know enough about it. This casting, other than they said, and it's been heavily fan casted that they wanted him. The other side of it is that he there's a reason, like I told you, when I first interviewed him back in, I think it was 2018, when he came into Collider, we sat down it was when I was doing the one-on-one with Kristian Harloff Show. And I just knew he already just hearing him and the way that he talked and the way that he talked about his family and everything else, I was like, okay, this is someone who's going to have a longer career if he keeps this mindset. And he sure did. He kept the mindset. He kept it the way, he kept himself grounded. He continued to go do his work. Cobra Kai, he shined. I was able to, again, watching him grow up, interviewing him more, having more conversations with him, watching him just mature in life and listening to him. And he kept that mindset. And people like working with him. People like rooting for him. And then everybody will tell you this, whether you like the movie or didn't like Blue Beetle, everybody said, yeah, but he was great. He's just so damn likable. I didn't love the movie, but he was great. I love the movie. He made it shine. He's and the same thing. There's a reason why they haven't said, well, we're not continuing on with Blue Beetle in the DCU because you want to work with this kid. And so to get him in this role, especially when the fan, it's one of these things. Look, here's a perfect example of a much smaller scale. I told you I'm working on my pilot. So, and I had mentioned probably a month or so back, we started talking about some of you guys don't know all the roles yet, but you still were so wonderful in throwing out certain names. And I kind of gave like a little brief characteristic of one of the characters and saying, well, I need someone like this. And then somebody started throwing all these names in there. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be great because it does. If you throw it out there and someone says, oh, Xolo Maridueña would be perfect for this. And then the producer's like, yeah, he would be great. We got to get him in there and read. He'd be perfect. They probably thought about him. Maybe they didn't think about him, but because of that, it helps. So I really do believe that he's going to nail this. I can't wait to see this show. I mean, I'm such a fan of it now that I'm like anticipating. I'm like, when is it? So having him in there, Joe Manganiello in there. I mean, this is a cool cast. I'm pumped. And I don't know anything about the characters. I don't know anything about them. I didn't watch the anime stuff, so I don't, and I don't want to. I want to be surprised watching it. Well, what do you guys think? Do you like this casting? Do you think that if you were a One Piece anime fan and you know the character, did you think this was a good choice? I'd love to get your thoughts. Put your thoughts in there. Let me know exactly what you think. All right, we talked about Wonder Man, which is coming out in I think it's January now. And we talked about it last time. I mean, I believe that it's kind of going to be buried personally. But there's episode runtimes, there's titles of the show. So let's see what those are. So it says they're running short. Okay, that's interesting. Are we doing another? Well, I'm going to have a different opinion on this than I normally do. Marvel Television has debuted a new clip from its upcoming Wonder Man TV series ahead of its debut in January. The teaser sees Simon Williams being told he needs to sign a form to confirm that he doesn't have any superpowers, confirming that may prove a problem, as in the scene just before that, he appears to unwittingly demonstrate to Ben Kingsley's Trevor Slattery character that he does have some. Dubbed a love letter to filmmaking, acting, Hollywood itself, Wonder Man follows actor Simon as he's thrust into the world of superheroes in a reboot of an old property called Wonder Man with legendary filmmaker Von Zavik coming out of retirement to direct. The clip comes as a new report from Legado de Marvel indicates that the show's 8 episodes clock in at just 30 minutes each, the one exception being the 5th, which is just 23 minutes long. The longest is the 6th at 34. That puts it at something akin to Hawkeye in terms of its overall length. That show ran 242 in total. This will clock in around 244. However, individual episodes are more akin to the She-Hulk Attorney at Law runtime. Normally, I hate these shorter runtimes for Marvel and Star Wars and DC shows because you're like, okay, we can't just have the big spectacle and don't build out characters. This show is built more for the format of like a studio or, that it's a dialogue heavy show with some, some action in it, but you have enough time in that 25 minutes to 30 minutes to build out through dialogue because of the premise of the show. So the run times for this particular show doesn't bother me. And also shows that they know they know the rhythm that they're going to set the time. And I just feel the same way about this show. This is how I feel I'm going to feel about this show. I feel like, because I like everybody involved in it. I like everybody who involved in it. I want to see what Kingsley does moving forward with this and how they can further introduce Trevor and all that. And I think I'm going to watch it. Look, I got a kick out of some of this stuff. But to me, it's like, it was clearly greenlit in a time when they thought everything was, let's just greenlight everything. We'll just do all these different some meta shows. We'll do this, we'll do that. It was greenlit a long time ago. So they made it, and now they don't have that trust in the audience like they used to, where and that yeah, everything you guys put out, it's like I don't think the show's gonna do very well. I don't think it's gonna be a hit. I think it's also, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think they're putting it all out in one on one day. That's going to be a killer also. I don't think that's going to benefit it at all. But I think it'll be one of these. Yeah, look, it's the same thing that's going to happen here. I've said this a million times over. What's going to happen is these people are going to love it and everything about it. It's the best thing that they ever saw. And oh my God, it's so great. It's so great. I love it so much. I love it so much. I love it. I love it. Love it. Every channel. Love it so much. Love it so much. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it before I even saw it. I hate it so much. Everything about this sucks. Disney's the worst. Or I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So those two right there. What I feel this is going to do, I feel here is going to be like, he's fine. It was fine. It was okay. And it was interesting that they did that kind of, it was entertaining enough, but I don't know. Or I didn't watch it. That's how I feel it's going to be. So we'll see. What do you guys think? How do you feel about Wonder Man? Do you think it's something you want to see? Are you going to have to hear about it a little bit more? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know what you're expecting. Okay. I'm going to do one more story, and then after that, we'll get to some questions. You guys ask whatever you want. Q&A here together with you. So you want to keep me on here today? Ask whatever you like, whatever you want to do. This is a story I definitely want. There's two more stories actually I want to cover. They're in a similar kind of neighborhood. Let's talk about. We didn't talk about it yet this week, but this is what exactly. I called this the other day. And broker was like, it was illegal. I was like, yeah, but not if they get it. But this is what I said the other day. Netflix said to have mainly shown interest in Warner Brothers to drive up the studio's price for Paramount. I mean, that was clear as day. At least I thought so. Netflix recently showed interest in Warner Brothers. However, a new report claims that was mainly to drive up the cost for the company for Paramount, who's shown heavy interest in acquiring it. The race for who will be Warner Brothers Discovery's new owner continues. Paramount remains the most likely candidate. But more recently, Netflix appeared to be joining the fray as well. In October, it was reported that the streamer had secured the services of investment banks Willis and Company to come up with an offer to the film studio. Furthermore, per the report, Netflix was also given access to financial information to allow it to make an informed bid. The arrival of a competitor seemed to up the stakes of Warner Brothers' sale, particularly given the heavy interest Paramount has shown. However, surprisingly enough, it could be the case that not all is what it seems, with Netflix throwing in its hat for Warner Brothers, throwing its hat in the ring, for Warner Brothers. Variety recently published a report on Paramount, which included an interesting tidbit about the streaming giant. According to the outlet, while Netflix is mulling over an offer for Warner Brothers, some industry sources believe the streamer is mostly trying to drive up the price that Paramount Skydance will need to pay. Why Netflix would reportedly mainly want to drive up the cost of Warner Brothers for Paramount is unknown. Aside from that, through a Netflix person, I mean, it's not unknown. I'll get into that in a second. Aside from that, though a Netflix spokesperson denied the claim, Variety heard that out of all Paramount's business competitors, Netflix was the most surprised by the arrival of David Ellison into the entertainment scene. You just answered that question, by the way, or why they want to drive it up. You just answered the question with that statement right there. In the past, Netflix heads have denied there have been interested in purchasing Warner Brothers during an aftermarket analyst call. For example, Ted Sarandos stated, without directly addressing the sale, that the streamer was more interested in organic growth rather than mergers and acquisitions. Okay, so let's start with that first part of why they would want to do it. It is told you. Because they were surprised when Ellison joined the fray, and because the guy is either today the number one richest guy in the world, or number two, and then tomorrow is number one, whatever. He's one or two. And if he's another guy who's just getting everything, they want to try to say, look, maybe if we jack this price up, he won't be in competition with us because he won't get it, and he won't want to spend that kind of money on it. So we'll drag it up there. But what if we get it? No, then we get it. Then we get it. and we get it at a price, and we'll be able to incorporate it, and we'll do what we need to do. But if not, then we'll just make the guy spend a little bit more than he wanted to spend. He wanted to spend X. We're going to make him spend XX instead. We'll throw that in there. He's going to counter, but at least he's going to spend more. Well, they won't say that. Of course, we deny that. Of course, you got to deny that. But that's why. That's why. But it's going to happen. Ellison's going to get it. Paramount is going to get it, and this to me cements that even more so. Will you guys think that there's any chance, A, that Netflix gets it, and B, do you think that I think that's a major question. Do you think they're going to get it, and do you think that they'll continue to make higher bids if Paramount starts to outbid them, or are they just going to say, you know what, you called our bluff, we're out? I'm very curious of what the audience thinks on this one too, because this is not over by any stretch of the imagination. We're going to have a full story on this once it happens. It should happen pretty soon. All right, put your thoughts in there. Let me know what you think. Apple Podcast, Spotify, that Clips channel, man. We're going to be putting up a bunch of clips from the Famke interview coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. All right, last story I'm going to get to before we get to your questions. And this is similar here of what we were just talking about, but this time the theater owners are speculated to have been too afraid of Disney to oppose its acquisition of 20th Century Fox. I already kind of feel like you know where this is going. I'd probably say, well, we don't want them to not put Marvel and Star Wars in our theaters, so it's okay. A new report regarding the Warner Brothers Paramount merger, theater owners were speculated to have either been too afraid or too trusting of Disney to speak out about its merger with the 20th Century Fox. With Paramount Warner Brothers merger seeming on the horizon, an older deal is being discussed again. In this case, the older deal refers to one of the biggest acquisitions in entertainment history. That was Disney's merger with Fox. Given the scale of the deal between Ellison and Zaslav's entertainment giants, the 2019 acquisition is being brought up an example of what can go wrong in mega mergers. Case in point, the Wrap published a report on the state of the industry as it prepares for the sale of WBD. The article explores the worry around Hollywood over potential diminished film output from Warner Brothers and presents an interesting possibility on why the Disney-Fox merger was arguably not met with as much opposition as Warner Brothers is presently encountering. Though David Ellison is said to be committed to the theatrical model, an executive of a major theater chain who spoke to the Wrap cast doubt on there not being some sort of disruption to Warner Brothers Discovery's usually prolific movie slate. Disney promised that they wouldn't cut back on the number of movies 20th Century was putting out, and they did. And yeah, we see that now, and there's a lot of frustration, but no one said anything at the time. The decline in projects was indeed drastic. As shown in the report, 20th Century Fox released 16 films in 2017 and 15 in 2018 before experiencing a drastic slowdown after being absorbed by Disney, releasing only 2 films in 2024, 5 in 2025. Asked why there seemed to be little pushback from theater owners during that merger, the unnamed executive said it was because they either trusted Disney or they were afraid of Disney. It may sound odd to them, but there was a reason behind those two possibilities. As mentioned by the Wrap, at the time of the merger, Disney was arguably the most powerful company in Hollywood. Just in the 2018-2019 period, the studio had multiple hits, including Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Incredibles 2, Captain Marvel. Disney seemed to be, to put it plainly, dominating the industry at the time, hence the theory of a theater owner being both trusted and afraid of the company. Of course, keeping in mind that this is speculation of the executive's part, however, it's still important to consider, given it comes from an individual with firsthand experience of the environment in the theater industry discovering the Disney-Fox merger. The perception of Disney at the time of the acquisition is quite different from what it is now. Things have changed in recent years for the company as multiple properties have failed to find an audience. Perhaps the biggest shift for the media giant has been Marvel. A lot of the projects that once allowed Disney to be top of the entertainment industry when it purchased 20th Century Fox were Marvel titles. Recent years, though, it's been in decline. We know that. We've talked about that. Okay. So, again, this is another one. As I read this, it makes all the sense in the world. Of course, at the time, they were frightened by Disney. It's like, wait a minute. If we speak up against them, they're not going to put their movies in our theater. And they're not going to they're not going to we're going to be screwed. All this concessions and everything we said, Avengers and Incredibles and Black Panther. I mean, holy moly, we can't. What are we going to do? And they got Star Wars too, guys. What are we going to do? We're going to do nothing. I'm not going to say nothing. And so they're saying stuff now because also the theaters have also declined in general because without those big hits and everybody excited to see stuff. Remember, at a time, Marvel was the only thing getting people in theaters, and now that's not even the case. Now Disney still, now definitely not as powerful and not as bulletproof as you will. They still got 2 big ones coming out by the end of this year. I think right now Warner Brothers still holds the title for biggest box office. That's going to be over by the end of the year. Disney will win because you're going to have Avatar and you're going to have Zootopia 2, and that's it. Those 2 titles are going to put them in the lead again. So if your theater's like, yeah, we need their stuff, we're not going to say anything. But it's also the theaters can say whatever the hell they want, but it's like we had in our previous conversation. They got to change some stuff before they worry about who's coming to see their movies and less movies. Does it really matter if I got to go with some guy putting his feet up and eating a burrito in the middle of it, and while he's texting his grandmother about God knows what and laughing his balls off? I don't want to go to that. No thanks. I don't want to be there for that. So you need to change that before you're worried about mergers. But mergers are a real thing where it's like, okay, what is that? Look, if Netflix bought Warner Brothers, I'd be terrified if I was at the theater because Netflix has been so adamant in saying we're not doing theatrical releases. Now, it could be very different. We're like, well, we're buying a theatrical brand. We're not going to change that. Maybe it is more beneficial where Ted Sarandos goes, we're going to buy this thing. And for people who want to make movies with us now that need theatrical releases, we'll make them on the Warner Brothers side of things. If you want to make it through Netflix and get our Netflix budgets, you're gonna put it on streaming. But if you want to lower those costs a little bit and you want to get things theatrically, well, then we'll release it on the Warner Brothers side. So there is a beneficial side to Netflix buying Warner Brothers. And then if that's the case, then the theaters go, Netflix got it, and I like their deal. Where Paramount could be more similar to what Disney did with Fox. Like, they said they're not going to cut back the movies, but they did. Paramount bought it, and Paramount's only putting out this amount. Warner Bros. Only put this amount, and we're not getting as many movies. So it's interesting. It's interesting in general, but I completely buy the report that they were not going to say anything at the time because Disney was their cash cow. It wasn't just the fact that they were scared. It's like that's how they were making their money. So maybe scared, I guess, is the word. But I mean, it's like we got to let them do what they're going to do because they're the ones that there's the whole reason that I can feed my family right now because no one else is coming to see shit. Yeah, I don't know. So MK Songbird's talking to somebody in the chat and says, you're okay with Paramount keeping a blacklist of actors they won't want to work with? Who are you talking to? Me? What the hell are you talking about? No. I guess he's talking to somebody else. They must be having a conversation. Sometimes I walk in and I see people talking to each other and I think it's to me. It doesn't make any sense why it would be to me. So anyway, so what do you guys think about this? You think this makes sense that they'd be scared? Do you think that Paramount, are you hoping, you crossing your fingers, the Paramount thing doesn't happen? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Okay. So let's get to these questions.
Cock?
No, questions.
Hey, Willie.
Questions.
Mustard.
Holy shit, guys. We're going to get to the questions. Will we get to the questions?
I wish I knew.
Before we do any of it, we're going to tell you guys about Nutrafol. Going to tell you guys about Factor, and then we're going to get to some questions. Nutrafol was a game changer, man. I remember when back in the day when we first heard about them, Brett and I were like, all right, let's try it. Man, oh man, love Nutrafol. It's been so beneficial to me, confidence building, and I will tell you right now, you will love it too. What is Nutrafol? Well, Nutrafol is the number one dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, and it's trusted by over 1.5 million people. so you can feel great about what you're putting into your body, since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified, the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. Adding Nutrafol into your daily routine, it's simple. You purchase it online. There's no prescription required. It's automated deliveries and free shipping. It'll keep you on track. Plus, with the Nutrafol subscription, you can save up to 20%, and you'll have access to free one-on-one doctor consults to support you on your hair growth journey, and a Headspace meditation membership. It's included. So if you want to see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months, use Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and a free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com. You got to enter that promo code Christian. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. You spell that Nutrafol.com. Use the promo code Christian. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Christian. Since I started doing this show, I really have been introduced some brands that just really fit what I'm looking for in my lifestyle. And nothing could be more true than that with Factor. I love Factor. It's so good. It's not the easiest to try to find times to cook. That's why I love Factor. They have the chef prepped, they have the dietitian approved meals. It makes it so easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious, no matter how hectic the season is going to get. So there's more variety, there's more meals. You can choose from a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp. That's what I get, to be honest with you. No extra cost. You can support your wellness goals, even more GLP-1 friendly meals and new Mediterranean diet options packed with protein and good for you fats. For the first time ever, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors. It's influenced by China, Thailand, and more. There's more choices, better nutrition, and that is why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. You can feel the difference no matter your routine. I love it. You should love it too. It's been so helpful for me, especially when I'm getting back from the gym. Like, I got to eat something good. Factor says, here you go. So you eat smart at factormeals.com/Christian50 off. You got to use that code Christian50 off. You get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Do you hear that? I'm going to tell you again. That's code Christian50 off at factormeals.com. 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. You get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with the code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Factor! It's so delicious. It's delicious. All right. Thank you to Factor. Thank you to Nutrafol. And I hope that you guys are taking advantage of this stuff while we got them, man, because, like I said, the holidays are coming up. Links are in the description. It helps out the show. It helps you guys out. And it really does. There's a reason why we continue to be doing the show as long as we have been, is because you guys have been supporting it by getting something for yourself. All right. So we got questions. Can we beat, who the hell are we trying to beat? I think we'll be trying to beat Roca right now. Trying to beat Roca at 92, I think. We're trying to beat Roca. So let's beat Roca. You can do that. We're at 21 right now. You need just around 70 to tie. So let's do it. I really would love if you guys have any questions that you want to ask. Is that like, because I would like to, maybe there's some things that I can talk about with the pilot and other things that I just haven't even thought about yet. Because I really want to because this is what we're going to do. Once we start pushing it, I'm going to ask you guys every day, and I'm going to want a question. I'm going to want a comment from every one of you, whether it's Tony, Matthew, Garrett, Bobby Jackson, anybody who's in this. I'm going to say, okay, well, I haven't heard from you guys yet. What would you want to see? My goal in general is, what I got to try to do is, if I can get, after I set the goal and I can get, okay, I was looking at Stuckman's Shelby Oaks, and there was like a $25 one, a $51, and on and on. And I was like, we get X amount of people to donate that and be excited about it and want to be a part of it and help this, to say, I made that as much as Christian did. I helped make that thing. I did that. I was involved in the process. What would it take for you to say, I want to be involved in this? That's what I'm asking everybody. Because if everybody gets involved who is watching this show, if everybody's involved who watches my reactions, we'll make this thing like that. So I'm hoping, and I'm getting great responses on it. I mean, I like I said, I sent it to that actor. There's something that happened that's even crazier, but I can't even say anything yet until it's locked in. But so something happened 2 days ago where a friend who's involved in the project sent it to someone else in the industry and may get involved on the show. Liked the story of working with the audience, making the audience feel more involved. And if this particular person gets involved too, it's a different ball game. Because if we shoot this first and it's a finished product, and then you take it to, again, Amazon, Netflix, Apple, whoever, and go, look, it's done. Now just let's go for a season. You guys get to help us do that. You be a part of that. So I want to know from you guys, when you're asking your questions, please, like, tell me, what is it that you'd want to see? What would make you go, yeah, I want to be involved in that? Go Pal, early support. Bobby Jackson, did you have a chance to finish Warfare? This is the question that I was. If so, any thoughts on Noah? No, Bobby, I did finish it. I liked the movie. Not an easy watch in the slightest. It was about as real as it gets. Everybody was really good in it. He just didn't do anything to make me go, oh yeah, that guy's great. He was good. He wasn't bad, but just nothing to say, oh, that guy's got leading. He's like one of the many soldiers in it. And he doesn't, if he says more than 5 things, I'd be surprised. So no news, nothing yet on him on that one. El Baba Yaga, Demon Slayer movie Saturday. You're the best. Hey Willie, Demon Slayer movie next Saturday, El Baba. Not this Saturday, unfortunately. I'm sorry. 25 questions. Come on, let's beat Roka today. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Cool 124. Michael Jackson movie will be more than 1 billion. It's Michael Jackson. Keep in mind, foreign countries as massive on Michael Jackson. I know. Like I said, I will not be surprised if that happens. I won't be surprised. I think it'll be tough, but I won't be surprised. Okay. Matthew Garrett, Paramount. Let's go. Make Warner Brothers great again. Matt, you be honest though. You come in here, you look to rile people up too. You got a smile on your face, and you're sitting in your boxers, farting your ass off, thinking that you like to stir it up. You like to stir it up. Wiley, what's up, bud? When do you see Running Man? Monday. Very excited for the movie and the soundtrack. Also, Charlie XCX is releasing a new song for Wuthering Heights soon. Excited. That's awesome. I love that majority of your stuff is about music. Riley, have you listened to the Long Walk score? I've been listening to that one track Olsen like again and again and again. It's really, really solid. I don't know if you've listened to it yet, but it's a great score. So I see it on Monday though. Riley, Running Man. Johnny Patriza, so happy that Xolo Maridueña was cast as One Piece. I love it. It's great. I'm excited. 28 questions. Come on, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it today. Come on. Let's beat Roka. Let's get some stuff. I want to hear your thoughts. And again, everybody, even not putting it in super chats, tell me what you want to see. I'm going to call everybody out. Rohit, Connor, Michael, Cool 124, all you guys. What would you want to see? What would it take? What would to say? Okay, yeah, I want to make this thing happen. Mr. Penguin, with the Journey announcement that they are retiring after next year, do you think that could be the next biopic for the next few years? I'd like to see it. I'd love to see a Journey. That'd be great. I don't really know the story really all the way through, so I'd love to see it. Casey Grant, Captain Penis, all you guys. I'm calling you all out. I gotta know. You guys are like the hardcore. You're hearing all the time. Put your thoughts in there. I gotta know. Okay, 29 so far. Hotel Nerd. Stupid question, but with Stranger Things finale being in theaters, can they technically make an Oscar push even being in theaters for 2 days? It's not a stupid question. I don't think it's registered as a film, though. I think it's registered as a television episode. So I don't think it'll be able to make an Oscar push. Now they could probably make an Emmy push for it. But it's part of the season, so I don't think so. It's not. It's actually a really good question. But no, I don't think that it'll be able to be get an Oscar push from it. Coolie Nut Burst. There you go, Coolie Nut. Lifelong OP fan. Xolo and Ace might sound good on service level, but will not make sense with current castings. Can't say more without spoilers. Okay, we'll have to see. We'll find out. We'll find out once we see it. I like I said, I can't speak on that, but I don't know. 31. Let's go. Josh Vasquez. I missed. What's the deal with Canon? I mean, come on. Do they care? Do they not care? They have books and they're doing nothing with it. Today he says it counts. Tomorrow he doesn't. Why not? Because he doesn't care. It doesn't matter as long as he's wearing his hat. That's it. Okay. 33. See? You guys are moving. You're moving. Josh Vasquez. Gremlins 2 is the superior movie. You're crazy, Josh. Ahead of its time, appreciation going over the years. Look, I've seen for what it is, and now that I know the tone of it, it's fine, but it's so off-putting from what the first one was. It's so off-putting. Matthew Garrett, Gremlins 3 starring Sydney Sweeney, and I'm in. You're doing it again. You're farting in your boxer shorts. Metroid starring Sydney Sweeney. I mean, or maybe not. Maybe you're not as much so because you just like Sydney Sweeney. I'm on board with her now after seeing Christy. So, Hotel Nerd, let's make a duck hunt movie. I think you're in the right area there. You're in the right neighborhood. I like what you're talking about. Okay, 37. See, now you guys are firing them in. Be smart. I want to hear some questions. I'm not bullshitting you guys. I'm not bullshitting you guys. When it comes to, I'm going to be leaning on all of you. I'm going to ask every single one of you. Like once this thing launches, I'm going to say, "Hey, ZB, what is it? What do you want in order for this thing to really pop? That you get invested in? What would make you go, yeah? I want to be involved in this." Will DeMace, same thing. Abernathy, all of you, talking to every single one of you here today. This isn't even launched yet, but wait till we launch it. It's going to be we're going to make something special. I'm fucking pumped. I'm ready to go. All right, you guys been following me long enough. You know that if I want to get something made, we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. Especially the team that I got now. And I can't wait for you to meet Martini too, but my writing partner. She's like she's great. She's so smart and she's funny. I can't wait. All right. Hotel Nerd with the great idea here. 39 so far, getting closer and closer to Rocco. He doesn't even know it. Getting closer. Dylan Moore. Hey, Christian, you see that email I sent for the poster I drew? I had a suggestion for the Kickstarter. Cool if you don't want to use it, of course. Just want to make sure you start before it's too late. No. Dylan, I have the email saved. I gotta show people your poster. It's wonderful. I didn't know. I gotta look at the email and double check to see what the idea was. But did you say you sign it? I'm not sure. I'll look at it though. I loved your poster. So Dylan did a poster of like the entire crew here, and it's gorgeous. And he just did such a. I'm gonna print it out and put it up on the wall. But I'm gonna look at what it is. Okay. So thank you, Dylan. Dylan's really, really talented dude. Okay, 44 people are firing things in. Dylan, I'm going to look at your email though too, because I'd love to see what that idea is for sure. Nathan Drake, you loved the Willow Show? I did. Let's get a season 2 with but who loved the? I love the Willow Show. I didn't even finish it. What are you talking about? Let's get a season 2 with the budget of Andor. No, I think you're being facetious. You're right. Matthew Garrett, David Ellison, make Warner Brothers great again. Farting in your boxer shorts. This time you're smelling it, laughing your ass off. That's what you're doing. Every time you do it, I'm gonna call you out and fart. You're farting your ass off right now, spinning around your computer chair, just chuckling. That's what you like to do, Matthew. You come in here and you poke the bear. And I'll tell you, Matt, you better be one of those big contributors because you cause a lot of farts. All right, let's see. 45 so far. Look at this. Mike Cat, what will Masters Universe have to do to get old and new audiences to like it? Thundercats and Dino Rider chances. In my opinion, I hope Apple gets Warner Brothers. Apple ain't gonna get Warner Brothers, but it'd be interesting. What would Masters Universe have to do? Well, the first thing is the trailer. And the first thing is getting people buzzing about the trailer and making people excited about it and just, creating a buzz off of it in general. That's the first thing. Then it's the audience talk after they see it. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, look, if it's a good trailer and it doesn't look like Jared Leto is front and center in this thing, and let's see if this kid's a star. So I would say right now, yeah, I'd say right now, it's they're up against it. They're up against it. We'll see. I'm fingers are crossed. Fingers are crossed. 46 guys. You guys are you're doing it. You're doing it. We got a lot of stuff to discuss and talk about. And I want to hear everybody's thoughts. I'm gonna ask everybody. And again, once the actual so I'm gonna be doing the stream that I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna title it big changes to the show. And we'll do a full stream. And on that stream, so you guys can look out for it, that's when we'll be bringing in, I'll probably bring in Martini to introduce you guys to her. And then I'll bring in the director and producer, and we will go over the stuff that we're going to launch and when we're going to launch it. And we'll probably have every one of you in the chat give your thoughts about what, after we tell you our idea, because they came up with a great idea. And I said, oh man, if I wasn't involved in this and I wanted to get involved in the industry, that would get me involved, because you don't get that kind of access. I would love that. So when we have that, and then to hear your thoughts of oh, well, now that I know that, if I knew that this was going to be included, that would incentivize me to want to see this thing come all the way around. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to be asking for you guys. It's going to be like a board meeting with all of you. Regardless, whether you're a paid member on this channel or someone who's in here 5 days a week, just chatting, a subscriber, someone who comes in casually, someone who's ever showed support in general. I tune in every once in a while. You're all super relevant to this because you've been here for me since the beginning. You've been here since the start. You've been here with whether it's encouraging comments or being a turd. You're there for a reason, because you're passionate about film. We all get to be in the driver's seat of this thing and going, let's go. This is as much of an adventure of saying, let's crack the norm, as much as it is for me to make this show that I'm passionate about. That's what I want to do. That's the mission of this thing, is to get this thing put out there, because we get it out there and we get a season out of it. The joy that you will have as an audience member to look and say, I am one of the reasons that thing is on television right now. I did that, and I was involved in it. I got to see that. I got to do that. That's what I want to give you guys too, especially if you're interested in being a part of this business. 52 so far. 52. Larry Horowitz, they say Paramount will keep Gunn for DCU. How is that possible when he's so left and puts in his films and shows? I can't see him not being political. Well, here's the thing, Larry. I think that you can easily say this. Okay. So let's say Ellison takes over and we know his politics, right? And let's say he says, okay, we are going to honor Gunn's contract, and Gunn will have X amount of time in his contract to make us money. I wouldn't, in my point, it depends on how. If he's making money and he's putting stuff out there and it's making money, you could say one of two things. Okay, you're making money, do your thing until people are getting tired of it, but make the money, and I'm gonna leave you alone. Or you can say, look, can you do that without doing as political as you are? You're allowed to say that as the boss. To when Gunn can say, no, I'm gonna keep doing my thing. You can say, I'm gonna end your contract now. I'm not gonna continue your contract, but you can bring him in to start it and see how you work together. It would be stupid for him not to do that, because there'll be too much pushback. So they're definitely going to keep him. Matthew Garrett, LOL. Yes, companies have the right to not work with actors they don't believe will be beneficial to selling their movie and engaging the audience. I mean, I think that's true. I think that's true, though. I think that companies do have the right to say, look, I don't think that it happens. There's that person's perfect for the role. What's their following? They don't have one. Oh, well, they probably won't be able to. That happens. People aren't cast in roles because they don't have a big following. It's true. Matthew Garrett, doesn't matter how good at pretending you are. If you don't come back to reality where your ticket buyers live, Silly Hollywood. This is a real word. It's not just Hollywood though. Like my mother, like they have like this idea of like what. Well, the Hollywood people. When it wasn't super political, Matthew, you didn't have a problem with the Hollywood people. You do now because that's what your side says you're supposed to do. So I can't take you seriously there. However, you're not wrong that you have to absolutely pay attention to what is going on where your audience lives. You're 100%. I agree. Johnny Patrizia, hug and kisses for Brett wherever he is. I spoke to him briefly this morning, but I don't know what he's doing with his channel. I don't know what's happening. C Black Collider just confirmed Doomsday trailers 12/19. I mean, Avatar. That makes sense. I mean, that was one of the things that I definitely knew from the other day. But yeah, Matt, let's do a stream together. You'll make tons. I don't trust you. I appreciate you, but I don't trust you. And at the movies, do you have an overarching story for the show as a whole? I do. How many seasons in mind? Love what you're doing. Once Kickstarter ready, I'll be there. Now, this is the kind of shit, Ed, that I'm talking about. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. This is what I love. That's like, again, this can always change, but I'll tell you, I was on the phone with Martini yesterday for 3 hours going over storylines for season. The idea right now, what we have is 1 through 5 at 8 episodes apiece. That can always change. If it gets picked up, if it does good, if it does bad in season 1, 5 can quickly change to 3. 3 can easily change to 6 or 7. But 1 through 5, yes, they're arced out, and we know exactly where the characters start, and we know right now where they end. We have mapped out all of it because I think I've said that from day one. I didn't want to be hypocritical. You've got to know where your story goes, because that's, to me, it allows you, if you know where it starts and where it ends, it allows all this stuff in between to then get fatter and richer and nicer, and then you could always tweak things up, and things might change in the end, but right now we know where it starts, where it goes, and how we kind of get there in between. I am Two Fly Cam. That AI Michael Jackson in your thumbnail is diabolical. Is there one? Is there AI in my thumbnail? Is there? I mean, I'm looking at the thumbnail. Oh, I didn't even know. Is it AI? I have no idea. I don't make the thumbnails, guys. Come on, give me a break. Mike Joyce, I need a tier where you debate school Matthew Garrett. Well, I don't want to school anybody. But Matthew knows what he does. He does it on purpose. He does it on purpose. He likes to poke you guys in the ribs, and you guys engage with it. And there he is, stoked for a running man, even though King sucks. You don't like King? Matthew Garrett, let's do it. Do what? Johnny Patrizia, what's your favorite score at the moment? At the moment, right now, it's Long Walk. I've been listening to it over and over and over again. Armada, we got to get Dice and Holtzman in your show. I will tell you that Andrew Dice Clay is on our list as one of the characters. He's on our list as far as, like, in an ideal world, like I said, when we set the goal, the idea is if we bonus goals, if we overperform what we need, and we can get, because look, you can make the show for this, and that's ultimately what we're going to probably set the show for. But if you can overperform and you can get to here, the team that you can put together and the cast that you can get, and then you're playing in the game. But you got to go here first, because you got to say, okay, well, we're going to try to make it. Here is like, okay, we're really going to make it. We're going to make it exactly how we want to make it. So Dice is on the list for potential for one of these characters for sure. Matthew Garrett, AC/DC biopic, Australians, 3 singers, 2 deaths, American biggest rock band. How has not been discussed yet? Any band you'd be keen on? That's a great call, though, Matt. It's a great call. AC/DC would be awesome. Stones, right? We haven't seen the Stones yet. Have we seen one of the Stones? Love to see one of the Stones. Paige Chowdhury, what kind of music do you want for the pilot? So I write, thank you, Paige. I write to music, right? And now here again, Paige, just repeating myself. If I'm here and we hit here, going to be very hard to get a lot of the music that I want in the I'll take it, obviously. We want this. Hitting here is the number one goal. We got to hit here. And then what here is that we set the goal. We hope that we hit that so we can make a show. But if it overperforms and we get to here. Then it's like, well, you want that? You want that song? Then go buy that song. Go get that song. You wrote to that song, get that song. So I've written to tons of things in my head. I have a lot of different songs in my head that Wooly Bully is a song that I'd love to get for a particular scene. And that's just one thing. There's a few different things that I have in there that I would love. So let's see. So it's not an AI picture, just to clarify. There's a shot from the trailer just for the program increase the quality. It's not an AI generated image. So there you go. So your diabolical comment was wrong. So Paige, yes. So I have like so many. Let me see. I can't play any music because if I did, I would wind up getting demonetized. So let me see. I'll just tell you some of the ones that I had in here. I have Hey Ladies from Beastie Boys in there. I've got Nothing But a Good Time from Poison in there. That's not for that episode. That's a different episode. Wooly Bully. There's something from Mary Bragg in there. There's something from The National in there. I got a ton. I got a ton of things as I'm driving. I'm constantly thinking of scenes and how it fits in there and stuff too. So a lot of different things. It's a fantastic question. I love that question. Go Pal. FYI, for my fellow olds, they lowered the recommended age to 45 to get your first colonoscopy. I saw that. Mine all good and coming off the propofol. Good. That my wife went through it. I went through it. Everyone. It's the worst, but you got to get it done. 61 guys. Nope, I lied. 62. That little Yankee got mixed feelings. The MJ biopic, but now I want to see his videos all day. It's like eating potato chips. Oh, sorry. Little Yankee says got mixed feelings regarding the MJ biopic, but now I want to see his videos all day. It's like eating potato chips. You can't listen to just one. It's true. There's a lot of great songs, man. Matthew Garrett, hot take, Grease 2 is better. There's no world where you believe that's true. You are right now. I can see you. You're laughing your ass off and you're spinning around in your chair at 135 miles an hour with Flintstone underwear on, and you just rip the highest fart that you can do. And it's like a high pitched one. And you're just fucking laughing hysterically as you're spinning around because you just wrote Grease 2 is better. There's no world where you believe that. C Black, can you share anything else about Doomsday? Now, I gave the majority of the stuff that I had. The other stuff, I leave it to the scoopers for that. Daniel Logan, did you notice that Joshua Odlick from Long Walk in Derry? Wait, which one was that? Let me see. Joshua Odlick. Let me see. Joshua. Let's see. Oh shit. Okay, wait. What was he in? Recent. He was in. Where was he in? Oh shoot. Where was he in it? I didn't notice it, but where was he? But he was great in Long Walk. I love that movie. Shoot. I'm trying to see what else he was in that I know him from. But I don't remember him from Welcome to. What was he just in? What part? Shoot, I saw it last week. But no, I didn't notice it. Hotel Nerd. I'd like to watch a day of shooting for the pilot. I love behind the scenes. Also, what established franchise would you like to see Nolan tackle? I'd say Indiana Jones. Let's go with the last part first. What established franchise would you like to see Nolan tackle? Probably Bond, because he's been talking about it. Indiana Jones, I don't know. I think Bond. I think his style, the culture he comes from, I think he would do very well with Bond eventually. As far as watching a day of shooting for the pilot, that is absolutely 100% going to be included in one of the tiers. We're going to try to give as much hands-on feeling like you're there. Again, what am I investing in? What am I watching? What is happening next? Like, we want to make sure. So a day of shooting for the pilot and those types of things will absolutely. I'm glad that you said it, because it's absolutely going to be in there. Johnny Patriza, is Booker T going to cameo in the show? Not this episode, not in the pilot, but I mean, eventually, I'd love to have him. Eventually, be great. Go Pal. I liked your idea of a tier with table reads and a little behind the scenes videos during the production process. Those are all going to be in there. We're going to do all that stuff and make sure that, like, table reads, casting stuff, like, if we have it our way, again, if we, let's say, knock on wood, we hit our major goal in one day. Let's say hypothetically we do that. It's going to be a hefty goal, but let's say that we do. Well, then we start to know, like, okay, guess what? We're going to actually get to a place where we can start having people at, being able to vote. If you, now that you have contributed at this level, now that we've hit it, you've already contributed to that. So you get the access to being able to give your opinion. Hey, we're thinking about so-and-so for this role. What did you think of this audition tape? What did you think of this? What did you like? We want you involved. I want you involved. Like, I'm not bullshitting. I want you involved. Edit the movies. Looks like the Doomsday teaser confirmed 12/19. That's what they say. Facility guide. I don't know what the perks are. I'll give you a hundo. Thank you, facility. I mean, look, we're gonna have. I'll tell you. So basically, again, remember, I'm just going to tell you this, and this is not what we're going to put the goal at. I'm just telling you so you have an idea of what pilots that really, that you put money into. That, like, the Bear was like 1.1 to shoot their pilot. Now, we're not going to be shooting our pilot for $1.1 million, but I'm just telling you, like, that's how much, like, if you put everything in there and you go and you're like, okay, I got 1.1, I can go get Jeremy. I can go get I can get all these people. I can go get that. I can get the DP one. I can get the composer one. 1.1, you can play ball, right? Now, hey, maybe in a dream scenario, we get lucky, like, or again, put the work in like Stuckman did, and then it happens. And it's like, you can't even see, you can't even imagine what I'm gonna be doing. But that's going to be super unlikely. Now, let's say this. Let's say that we offer a tier at $25 that people really respond to. We get enough people to join at that $25 tier. And then, like you said, if you do that and that's as generous as you just recommended there, and you get enough people, we're making this freaking show. We're going to make it. We're going to make it regardless. We're going to make it. It's just a matter of, what we're going to do. Mike Joyce, tier where you read Clown Challenge. I'm never going, Mike. I'm not kidding you. I'm usually pretty good with mental health. Like, I've been lucky where, and I've been able, there's been time when I had, with my brother and Schnepp and everything too. And I probably, needed to talk to people and didn't, and I fought through it, but I've been pretty good with being able to get myself and breathe and do things to get myself. The Schmodown Reddit put me in the most darkest, deepest place in my head, depression that I'd ever been in my life. I'll never visit it ever again. It's just, I felt like I was a kid again. And they were kind of like I felt like I was getting bullied. And Reddit is the place I dislike the most. I will never do anything on Reddit. Matthew Garrett. Ellison buys Warner Brothers, restores Snyderverse with all of its testosterone, unlike low T Gunverse. Cavill, corn sweat, Snyder over gun. Snyderverse is manly. All right. Hold on. Is that you? That's you right now. Just fucking swinging around, legs up, shitting all over the place, laughing your fucking balls off. That's what you're doing right now. Okay. We got 76 so far, guys. Dylan, Billy, big balls should buy Warner Brothers. Well, let's see. Can I do this? I don't know if I can do it. I tried. Okay, hold on. Let me see if he's around. Sometimes he doesn't show up even when I ask him to.
What you want?
Hey, they're asking about you.
What do they want?
They're saying that you should buy Warner Brothers.
I don't want that tainted shit.
Why not?
'Cause, man.
That's not a good answer.
Man. Because the first thing I would do, I would release Batgirl.
You would release Batgirl?
No, I would release on Batgirl.
Hey, stop that. See, this is why I don't put you on. Horrible. It's horrible. See, that's why he can't. Matt Krugman, support. Would you like to see Terminator be repaired and respected the way Predator has the last few years? What steps do you think can be taken? Matt, I've been saying that for years, my brother. Years. Terminator should be the first one. I would love to see it. The first thing I would do is exactly what Trachtenberg did and scale it down. Scale it down. Make a very small $60 million, $65 million Terminator movie and make it more like an A24 horror film. Go back. That's what I would do and use it because the Terminator name has now enough to market it. So that's what I would love to see that happen. They going too big, they're never going to get it. Joyous Romer, what do you think about Star Wars Starfighter being the big turning point of the franchise? Well, I mean, I don't know, Joyce, if you're saying that, if you've heard my point on it or not, but that's essentially my point, is that it certainly has the opportunity to be. It has the opportunity to be. So you can't judge, no matter what happens with Mandalorian and Grogu. If I'm going to say they should be happy if it hits $500 million. They should be happy. If it does, to me, that's a win. You'll get people who said it's a loss, and it means Star Wars is dead if it doesn't or does hit that. They'll be wrong. You'll have people who will say it's a success and Star Wars is back if it hits over that. They'd be wrong. That show is just to get money back, and from this season. And the streaming side is just to try to make a little bit profit on it. It costs like $140 million, whatever it might be. That's not the one that counts in regards to the longevity of the brand. Starfighter does. If people do not come out to see Starfighter, because the excuse from not coming out to see Mandalorian and Grogu, I didn't watch the show, I don't care as much about it. I didn't like the last season. I don't care. Starfighter is starting a new chapter in the Star Wars universe. If people do not show up to that, and it underperforms, there needs to be a huge change, and they have to reset. So it is a huge turning point. It's going to prove a lot. That's the one that's going to say, let's move forward, or maybe we need to regroup. Little Yankee, I'll be involved in your Kickstarter regardless, Christian. Thank you, Little Yankee. Yankee fans stick together. Schmoes forever. I love that. And that's what I'm hoping. But again, Lil Yankee, what I want to make sure is that, and because this is what, like you said, this is basically what you're saying to me, and I am humbled by it. You're basically saying, I support you, so I got you. And I love that, and I thank you for that. But I also want you to go, I want to be part of that. Not just because of your support, because I know how much you've been with me forever, and it's so kind, and I love it. And I can't thank you enough. But I want you to go, I want to be a part of that. I want to be able to say, Netflix or whoever, they don't get to say, you can make this or you can't. They can say, we'll buy it or we won't. But they can't say we'll make it or we make it. We do it how we want to do it. That's up to you. And I want you to be excited to do that too. So this is a great question too. Tiptoe Cloud, can I be an extra? That is 1,000% going to be something that could potentially be offered on the Kickstarter. Bobby Jackson, if Big Balls buys Warner Brothers, he could do a collab with Bugs Bunny. I think Bugs would be worried to get canceled. Bugs a little bit of snowflake these days. Alex, on the topic of upcoming indie comedy series, my friend's self-produced series premieres in its entirety this Saturday at the MS Theater in Pennsylvania. So excited for him. I can't wait to support yours too. I love that. I love it. Because that's the tools. We didn't have the tools. Look, when I made Grassman Trials, I didn't have the tools to do this. I didn't have the tools to. If I did, I would have done that back then. I didn't have the tools to do this. I didn't have there wasn't that opportunity. You have an opportunity now for people to go and like Kickstarter is a different animal too, right? Like, here's the other thing for you guys to know. For all of you out there, even if you're just like, I don't know, and what this guy's doing, it's like, you know what? You won't shut the fuck up about it. I'm going to support him and see what happens, because look, if we hit our goal, I'm just telling you this right now. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if it does, if we hit our goal in day one, Kickstarter favors that shit. Kickstarter pushes that thing, and it'll push it, and more people will find it, and we'll be a part of this together. We'll all be a part of this together. So I love that your friend did that. I love that your friend self-produced it, because don't let other people decide anymore. Do it yourself. Good on your friend. I love that. I love hearing that, Alex. It's great. Matthew Garrett, you're the only guy I still follow from the Schmoes Movie Talk Days. So stoked to support the show. Also loved you and Sarah. Thank you, Matt. And I know that you can take ball busting. Speaking of Matt, Sarah, we just posted an episode of his show up with Dean Thomas. It's up on there now, and Matt's actually coming in here in just about an hour with Ray Longo, and they're going to be interviewing Chris Weidman, which is going to be a great episode. I'm excited about that. We're at 84, guys, 8 away from tying Roka. Paige, we the people can get a pilot, and we have a general who's ready for the evolution of greatness. Let's go. I love you, Paige. I love you because you get it. You understand. You guys, you just said it, though. You just said it. It's like the power in that, in saying, you know what? Like I said, imagine sitting down, Paige, as you said, like whether after the premiere, whatever it is, too, and God forbid, or not God forbid, God willing, that we get this show to 8 episodes in season 1. Imagine the feeling that you guys are going to get sitting down, popcorn, your snacks, whatever it is, and it's Netflix, right? And let's say it's Netflix, and you put on Netflix and you're watching it, and you're going, I did that. I helped do that. I was listening to this guy talk about this since then, and ideas, and maybe you put an idea in there, and then you go, hey, I suggested that. And there was a casting thing that someone put in a month ago. Imagine we got that person. You're going to go, I put that in the live stream. I did that. That's what I want. I've always made sure. I've always made sure since day one, since we did Schmoville, since we created Schmoville. We were the first people who were doing that. We're calling the audience Schmoville, and we were getting them together because community is the most important thing in this space. It always has been, whether it was Schmodown, whether it was this. Community is the most important, because why do you come here every day? You come here to have your conversations, whether or not you're arguing with Matthew Garrett, whatever it is, or you're hearing how great, an animation is for everybody. You're there because you're all together and you're experiencing something together. And that's what we're doing here. And every thought in my head is about this thing and making this happen. I can see it. I can see the first day of shooting. I can see the last day of the damn series finale. I can see all of it. And I can see you guys with me the whole damn time. Thank you, Paige. I love that you said that. Eclipse. All right, hear me out. The contributors to the show get a private online screening of the pilot with members of the cast, like a giant watch party. I love it. I'm going to screenshot it. I love this, Eclipse. I love this. It's a great idea. Private online screening of the pilot with members of the cast. I love it. Once we're done with it and we can get people on it, and look, there's going to be things before it though, right? Too, because because the thing is, Clips, like, let's say, okay, you put in to get that tier, but we don't, this is a God forbid we don't hit that goal and we don't make the show. Then it's like, okay, well, I put in for that and I didn't get that. But what we also want to make sure that we get it, we make the show, we do the show, then that's offered, right? And it's like, okay, once we shot it, we're going to get, you guys are going to make sure once this thing is done and it's out there, we're going to do this online screening with the cast, and you guys get to join. You can ask a Q&A before and afterwards and all that. I love that idea. It's a great idea, Clips. And I'm not even gonna lie, I probably am definitely going to use it. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great. Mike Lastra, I've been a fan since 2012 Schmoes. Do you still keep in touch with the old crew like Makuga and the Wanger guys? Not so much Wanger guys. I haven't talked to those guys in quite a long time. But Makugs, I talk to here and there. We'll text each other. I talk to Ellis the most. I mean, text Ellis maybe every other day. Talk to Ellis. And Riley. Ellis, Riley. Those are really the two I speak to the most, I would say. Matthew Garrett. Let's have a call. You'll understand who I am. Well, I mean, there's something about, again, I think that one of the things, I'm not going to speak for this person yet, but one of the things you potentially might be able to do is have, at a certain tier, have conversations with the director about the business. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know yet, but it's possible. Stuff like that. CJ, support. Thank you, CJ. 89. Almost got Roka at 89. Matthew Garrett, start the Kristian Harloff Network. That's what this is. And I'll be the conservative pundit. Serve both audiences, grow the channel. I don't need that. I don't need it. I don't do politics on my show. I don't like when people on inside of my crew go too that way. I don't like when other people go that way. I don't, and it's what has driven this country apart. And like I said, if Matthew, I guarantee you, if I go back 6-7 years, there's no way that your comments look anything like they do today. It's because it's part of what your team says you're supposed to do now. CJ, any more doomsday leaks? No more. That's it. You guys got. I mean, I gave you a bunch. Matthew Garrett. I was in church with Paul Walter Hauser. Sweet dude. Based. He's a good guy. I like Paul a lot. Really good guy. All right. 90. 2 away from tying Roca. 2 away. So this is a good question too. Can I get outside investors on top of the Kickstarter? The answer to that is potentially, right? Potentially. Let's go worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, we set the goal up top. We hit that goal. But that's all we get. We don't overperform. We just hit that goal, and we have to make it there. You're going to make the show, obviously, because that's what you guys contribute. We're going to make the show. But we're going to want to, like I told you, setting for here, we want to make it here. That would probably call for what you're talking about, plus the fact that maybe it's also sponsors or other things. I don't know yet. But let's launch it first. And like I said, that first day, if we can get, if every single person, if you're watching this on replay, if you're watching this now, whatever it might be, if every single person just said, hey, you know what? Let's throw this guy $25. He'll shut the hell up about it. And I want to be involved in it. And I want to do it. If every person who watched this show and everybody who watched reaction threw that in there in day one, we would be able to make the show at a very nice volume. Okay. 90. I like it. I'm loving it. Let's see. Jason, 1020. Would any of the episodes of your show warrant or potentially be a one-shot type episode? There's so many my favorite kinds of episodes. I love that you said that. Yes, there is. It would be what we came up with one for. It would be season 2 though. But there is one. We literally brought up a one-shot type episode. And we know exactly where it would be and what would happen. But we followed people through the entire thing, and we came up. It's season 2. It's early season 2, but it's season 2. We already came up with that. But yes, 100%, Jason. Nathan Drake. If Bohemian made 900, then Michael can make $1 billion. Did Bohemian make 900? I mean, so your point is more than valid. But at the time it came out, it also came out before the pandemic. Pandemic changed things too. Things were hitting bigger numbers back then. People were going to the theater more back then. But you're not wrong for saying that. It means that enough people went out to see it. It's not Michael. So you're not wrong. You're absolutely. It's a very good point. 92. We're tied. Go Pal. There's a movie called Stoned about the end of Brian Jones. I remember being pretty good. I just saw that Patty Constantine is in. That's great. I like him. I like him a lot. He's really good. Matthew Garrett. Can't let Roku win. Well, he didn't. We won today. We're at 93. Now the question is, are we going to beat Chris and Winston for tomorrow? We'll see. All right, Matt. It is difficult to acquire music for your project. Yeah, I know. And that's what I'm saying, Matt. Like, it's difficult if you don't got the kashish, right? It's difficult. If you don't have, I will say again, just because I'm going to be upfront with everybody too, it'll be the lower of the priorities depending on budget, right? We want to get a really good director of photography. We want to get the cast that we want. We want to get the locations that we want. We want to get the right equipment. We're going to treat it like as if it's already on television. Like, I don't want to nickel and dime it. I want to make it for, like I said, I want to overperform. If we hit this, then that's what we're going to have to, and that's all that we do, then that's what we'll make it for. But I want to get here. And if we do it on day 1, I promise you, Kickstarter will push it. That's how it works. 94. Matthew, no joke. I saw Grease 2 first. Really? 3 words. Michelle Pfeiffer, motorcycle, superior. Well, if you were that young and maybe just kind of holds a special place in your heart, but it's not good. Paco, San Miguel, sorry. Animated Stranger Things just announced for 2026. Really? Like, is it a spinoff with the everybody's voices and everything? Is it like, when does it take place? That's interesting. Go Pal. Also, 8 Miles High, mainly about Ushi Obermeyer, lightly connects with Jagger and Richards, and good as I recall. Okay, but I'm talking about like something that they're doing for Michael, and they did for like Bohemian Rhapsody for them. You know what I mean? This is hilarious. What's going on with your Facebook? It's freaking out. It's on, or you someone else? So I had already talked about this. My management team who manages a lot of my social stuff too. They were posting a lot of older stuff to put all of my library on Facebook. But because it's so much older stuff, people didn't know what the hell was going on. I told them, I said, look, I get what we were trying to do here. Let's just stop. We'll just put all the new stuff. So just putting newer stuff on there now. You just have the stuff that's on the Clips channel, so don't worry about it. Matt Krugman, glad to hear someone else say that they write to music that they find fit. I find that the most engaging part when I write to. It's how I always do it. It's how I always do it. Like I have scenes in my head that will come from a piece of music, and then I write around that to get there. Like I have, like, even there was a song that I'm not even using. It doesn't even. It wouldn't. I wouldn't try to get this song anymore to be in the show, but it's the song that helped me write an opening scene. And that's funny because the actual scene that we wrote it for isn't even in the damn show anymore, but it set the tone of the character. So music helps. Matthew Garrett, L.A. Knight. There you go. Wiley Todd. If you're wanting those songs for the pilot, they're cheaper because of the way you are showing it. Music. Some people would like to help afraid. That's nice to know. Well, that's so, but the question is this though, Wiley, and you would know this as a music supervisor. The way I'm showing it is I'm showing it to Netflix or Amazon or Apple, whoever, after we shoot it, right? So yes, I hear what you're saying. You can put any music in there that you want, but the problem is this, because let's say someone buys it and they go, okay, well, it's going to be more expensive for us because we now have to buy the rights for these songs too. Or your answer will probably be, yeah, but then you can just replace it. But what if that song doesn't fit the tone because I already wrote to that song? Does that make sense? You probably have the answers to that, but that's the first thing I would ask. Yeah, Armada, Tara Reid going to be in the show? Probably not. Okay, let's see. And now 94. Can we get to 100? We shall see. Or we've beaten Roka. Matthew, how does Costner recover from that fumble? I'm more curious about, are they ever going to show the second part? That's what I'm curious about. Aiden Doherty with a big super chat here. Thank you so much, Aiden. That's very, very kind of you. Michael Jackson is almost a franchise in itself. You're not wrong. In our studio, who rivals Hot Toys Collectibles, is making one scale figures of his concert set costumes like it's a superhero figure. Okay. 1 of 6 scale figures of his concert set costumes like a superhero. This movie, I think, good or bad, is guaranteed to make an insane amount of money. I'm with you on the insane amount of money. $1 billion is just so hard to do. It's just so hard to do. But like I said, if there was one movie that was going to do it, it's going to be this movie. That's huge. Aiden, thank you so much. It's very, very nice. It's really, really nice. But yeah, I'm with you, Aiden. I think that if this movie, and if it's similar to what we talked about before, if it's a really good, if the next trailer is really solid, if it's hitting at the right time, right before the summer movie starts, if it gets buzz, it could hit it. I just don't know if it will. I think it's a safer bet to say that it won't, but I don't think it's a crazy bet to say that it will. Kyle Curtis, can we get Ming's workout plan? I need it. I'm waiting for him to start let's see. Let me try to call him. I'm going to try to call him right now. I'll tell him he's on the air, and I'll ask him when he's launching it. I'll tell him the people are, because he's starting a channel. I'm going to see if, let's see. if he picks up. He might be actually at the gym.
Our call has been.
Yeah, it's probably. I think he's at the gym. Is he at the gym? I'm on the air, and the audience is asking if they can get your workout plan soon. People are looking forward to it. So he wants to start a channel. He wants to do online training and those things. And he has helped me a lot, tremendously, man. I mean, tremendously. Armada, apple pie versus cheesecake. I'm a cheesecake guy. Legend MM600. Kristian, you rock. Where's Steph? We love her. She's the best. So you'll see her, Legend, if you stick around in the channel after this is over. Pray, the reaction is going to be up there. She had her scheduling conflict today. So Matthew Garrett, with Elliston in the UFC, will we get a proper MMA movie now? I loved Warrior, but I understand why the MMA world has an issue with it. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see that too. I think that's a good call. Look, man, I've been saying this, and I really think, and I tried to get it out there to a couple different people, but like I think Matt Serra, regardless of my relationship with the guy, I think his story, if you know his full story, listen to his podcast and the things that he's done and what he ultimately achieved, I think his story is ripe for a movie. So I'd love to see more MMA movies. Nathan Drake, cast Beetlejuice from Stern on your show, please. Is he still alive? That's amazing. Armada, finished Landman season 1 last night. It was dope. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch it. 94. That's great. Okay, 94. Matthew Garrett, Woka Roka. Stop that, Matthew. You're ripping it in your chair, spinning it around. Rebel Moon over the Acolyte and Ahsoka. I don't know if I'd put it over Ahsoka and I don't love Ahsoka. Rebel Moon's not good though. Yeah, I mean, it's not good. I wanted it to be good. I mean, you talk about abuse of slow motion. It's not good. None of those. All three of those are bad. All three of those are bad. But if I was going to rank them, I would go to Ahsoka, Rebel Moon, the Acolyte. Armada, Rick Ingram and Anaconda Brett in the show. Rick Ingram was actually, Rick Ingram was in Grasping at Straws, right? He was so good at it. I love Rick. Rick's one of my favorite people ever. Larry Kortowitz, one of my bands is trying to cover Wooly Bully on an episode in the near future. You can use our version for free and save moolah. I'll keep you, please. Larry, no joke, please. Does that work? Does it work like that though? Like you basically you have to pay them because it's a song, but because you guys covered it. I'm assuming that's how. Wiley can tell me that too. But that's interesting. Daniel Logan, he was in the group of indigenous guys overwatching the military base. I think he'll have a bigger role in it. Okay, good. I love that guy. He was great in Long Walk. Okay, this is a good one. Let's see. JB, I got an idea for the contribution to get a signed poster from the whole cast and crew. I think we had that in there for sure. I think that's something that we thought about. I'm gonna just screenshot that too, but I think we have that. I think one of the other things that I was gonna do too is that right around the time when we launch, we're gonna release the Man of Steel, the Batman reactions, and all that. Run whatever ad it is for the campaign on those, so more people get notice of it too. Because like I said, I'm telling you though. If every single person who is watching this episode today, again, live, replay, if every single person who watched it said, all right, you know what? I'm going to contribute $25 today. The show is made. The show is made. That's all I'm saying. Jalen Turner, Gremlins 3 happening with directors from Final Destination Bloodlines writing with Chris Columbus and Spielberg. Yeah, Jalen, I think you might have tuned in later, but we covered that. It was one of the stories that we covered today. But yes, it's a great. That to me shows that the tone will probably be more akin to the first one, I think. Okay, let's see. Darian, what's up, Darian? Just interviewed Tony Dalton. He was great to talk to. Grateful for you and your guidance and advice throughout the years. Much love. You're the best, and I'm glad that you were able to talk to Tony Dalton, and I love that you were able to do the interview. And you're a very positive dude, and you got a lot of positive stuff, dude. And I'm excited for you. So again, thank you for all your support, and that's amazing. I know that he was in Hawkeye, but what was he in recently that I saw him in? Something recently. I never saw Better Call Saul, but I thought he was in something recently I saw, but that's cool. That is he in the new Ryan or what's his face? The new oh my god, I can't. What's he in now? Something. I don't know. But either way, I'm happy for you. That's awesome. Thank you, Darian. That's really great. 99. We got 99. Pretty good. Tiptoe Cloud says, for the win. Are you excited for Clayface? I am. I'm a little. Sometimes I go, I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm curious. I'm a little bit more than curious, so I'm saying I'm tiny excited. I like that they're going that route, so I think so. Matthew Garrett, down goes Roka at 100. Question is, can we hold off Capes and Cows? Matthew Garrett says, can't let Chris and Winston win. Well, it's 100 right now, so they've got it. Capes and Cows have beaten me many times on my own. I don't think I've ever beaten them. I think they've won every single time. So we're at 100 right now. Pretty good. Okay, let's see. Matthew Garrett. I was watching when Sarah beat GSP high T energy. Yeah, man, it was amazing when that happened. I mean, that's how I got to know him, because on Collider Live I mentioned how I bet on that fight, won a lot of money, and he talked about it, and he talked about it on UFC Unfiltered, and then I heard that he did, and we just started talking, and he was a guest, and had him frequently guest, and then he did my live show a couple times in person in New York, and then we started talking about doing something together once I moved back, and we did, and he's become actually a very close friend. Matthew Garrett, tier get me and Roka on a stream, name the price, fund the whole pilot. How about that? It's me, Steve-O. Have you seen MJ the Musical? Also, Fly Eagles. Stop this. I have not seen it. Let's see. Ming has been doing his research, and it's coming soon. He's just been swamped right now with other projects, but it's coming soon. I have not seen the musical. Any good? I don't know. Eclipse. You say Sarah's story could be turned into a movie. I think we've found your next project. Well, let's get this one done first, Eclipse. And I loved your idea, by the way. Before I loved your idea. Look, you never know what can come of it down the line about producing things and other things. Opportunities breed opportunities, right? But this is the thing that I want to get this. I want to get this done. I want to film this. I'm happy with it. And look, you guys know how much I respect Roxy's opinion on television. I mean, she's got a great opinion on TV. She knows structure. She knows that stuff. And like the fact that she was blown away and was raving about the script, the new draft of it, it meant a lot to me. So I want to make sure that I can make a great show for you guys too, because I want you to be proud of it too. I don't want you. I mean, like I said, I'm humbled in the fact that you want to support me, but I want you to be proud of what you are going to be contributors on. Go Pal. Rebel Moon Uncut was way better, but not either of those. Yeah, I've got to see the uncut one. Yeah. Matthew Garrett, are you a boot guy or sneaker guy? More sneakers, I think. More sneaker guy. Okay. Oh, that's what it was. He was in Last of Us and he played Joel's dad. That's exactly what it was. Good call. Okay. That's hilarious. Galaxy Geeks. Let's be safe and you donate $1 million and Christian will probably have it happen. Yeah. If you want to put in $1 million and fund like 3 episodes, then that'd be great. Okay. Or 4 episodes, maybe. 3 episodes. Anyway. Okay. We got just to 100. We did it. That's pretty good. I'm liking it. So I appreciate you guys so much. And I think that, like I said, once I get an opportunity to have all you guys in here and talk to the producer and director and ask all the questions you want to ask and give all, please give this type of feedback, because that's the type of stuff that I want them to see. That's the type of stuff that I want to hear, that we can then put it together. And when we launch it, that if you're like, oh wait, that's the thing I want. And then please, for people who are watching on the replay, same thing, like bombard the comments today with your suggestions. Like, I want to know, like, even if you're on the fence, you're like, I don't know if I want to contribute, like, what would it take that you would want to contribute? Like, what would it be like to say, okay, I'm on board, and I'd like to see this happen. I got to get everybody's thoughts. I get from people who are really excited about it, what they want to see, and people who are right now are just, I don't want to be involved in it. What would it take to get you involved? Because we want to get you involved. Matthew Garrett, how will filming affect the live show? Well, for the pilot, not very much. It would shoot in LA. We've mapped out the shoot for the pilot, and it'd probably take a little over a week if we did, and I would fly in for it. So one of two things would happen. I would pre-tape stuff. I would find a place to shoot while I was there, or if I am not available to do it that week, we would have co-host the show. That's it. An origin story about a C-list. What's that for, Tony? For what? Origin story about a C-list character. What does that mean, though? I don't. Explain yourself. I don't know what that means. And then let's see. Yeah, because we're gonna have a lot of things that lean. And then if we shoot it at the right time, we'll know. We'll know exactly what we're doing. So okay. 101. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, is that Michael Jackson's not a C-list character? I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. And I really love the support, and I'm excited to hear everybody's thoughts. And make sure you click like, comment, do all that. Oh, Tony said Clayface next year. Oh, I get it. And that's it. Thank you to all of you. Please put your thoughts in there. And once we're getting closer and closer, that's why I'm bringing it up more. Like and you're going to be like, some of you might be annoyed. Some of you might be annoyed because I'm going to have conversations like this on the show like every day until it launches. And then once it launches, it's all I'm going to talk about. Jeff Brooklyn, how much when are we talking about for the show? Is that what you're saying? How, like, do we think that the pilot's going to be like I said? So Chef Brooklyn, as I mentioned to you, we want to shoot this show as if it looks like it already lives on one of the streaming networks. I don't want it to look like, oh, they shot this at budget. I want to look, we're going for real equipment, everything that we can. Now, ideally, there's going to be a goal that's really high, not for the Kickstarter, but for what we want to shoot it at our level, right? Then there's going to be the Kickstarter goal saying, if that's all we can raise, if that's it, then we shoot it at this, and that's still going to be a significant chunk. I don't have a number for you yet because I don't have the well, that's like if I told you that the Bear was 1.1 to shoot their pilot, we're not going to be looking for 1.1. I'm just telling you in general, that's what it was, and we want it to look like the Bear. It's not going to. We're going to try to shoot it legit. Is all I have the answer to that right now. But you'll have a number. You'll have an answer to it once we launch, or once we launch. Joyous, may the force be with you. And where can I donate for the pilot? We haven't launched the Kickstarter yet. We haven't launched it yet. It's coming hopefully soon. We're trying. That's one of the things that we're trying to set. We're trying to set the date because that's the other question. This is a question for you guys too, because I've been told various things. I've been told that initially I thought that launching it in like December would be problematic because of the holidays and stuff. But then people are like, no, actually during the holiday seasons, like the giving season, people like to do it. They want to be supportive, and then it's a good time to do it. But the question is, what? I don't know yet. Right now I'm thinking, ideally, maybe sometime by end November, like, and I'm making this up, like November 20th to December 20th. I don't know yet, but something like that. But I'm curious. I don't know. But when we do launch, though, Joyous, it'll be on the Kickstarter. What else? Let's see. I'm looking. Background actor tier level is a good one. Hector Pena. Hey, Christian, very excited for the pilot. I hope everything goes well. I can't wait for the Kickstarter. Thank you, Hector. I mean, we're trying. Like I said, it's one thing where, we have enough people who watch this show, the reactions and everything else. And if we really portray what the message is of what we want to try to accomplish, right? I feel like if someone was like, okay, you know what, I'll throw $25 in. And if everybody who watches this show and everybody who watches the reactions threw in that, we would, I think if everybody who watched both of those, then we would hit this tier, and then we would make, then I can go, you know what? Hey, yeah, you know who's on the top of that acting list? Go after them. We can do it. We can hit their rate. We can go after them. Go for them. That's where you go when you get there. When you go here, you're like, well, let's make the show. And as you're building and building, like you want to get here. So that's why I tell everybody, if everybody just puts in $25 and wants to be a part of this thing, every single person that watches this show, we can get here. And we'd probably get here by day one if everybody did that. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Let's see. Any more? 104. 104. Not bad. Yeah, he says during the holidays. The only problem with the holidays is I'm going to be taking a week off for the holidays. I'm not going to be doing the live show, so I can't really talk to. I mean, maybe it's right before the holidays, Luke. I'm trying to think, but we shall see. All right, that's very nice, Mr. Nerd Fanatic. Is that would be more than generous. I appreciate it. Like, yeah, if I'm going to be pushing it. Like, this is not this is one of thousands of these conversations. And the other thing that the director and producer I talked about is like once we launch, like I'm going to be on every day, and I'll probably have on the director or producer on every day until we hit the freaking goal and then some. And that's it. Well, here's the problem. So this is the thing. We need you to announce the cast first. I can't do that because here's the problem. If I announce the cast first and we don't make the show, well, then I can't. And all right, let's say on the cast list, I know that I want so-and-so for this role, but so-and-so is going to cost, I'm making this up, $45,000 in order to get this person for 3 days of shooting. I'm making all of this up. I'm just telling you in general how the math goes. Now, if we've only hit this, then it's not financially responsible to then try to get that person. But if we hit this, then we go make that offer. So I can't announce a cast yet. You see what I'm saying? Like if I announce, I can announce the cast of the people that are already like myself and Martini who are in it. I can announce that. I can announce like if we attach someone who says I'm in regardless, and if you make it, I'm in, then we can announce that. So I hope that makes sense. Right. And that's exactly right. This is you don't want to make a big name making media buzz for it before it gets funded, because there's two sides to that. So-and-so announces that they're going to be part of the project. They're part of the project. They're in. And they announce it. And now their fan base wants to see it. They go to the Kickstarter and it's funded immediately. That's a positive. The negative, they announce that they're in it and nobody joined. And then they just put this out there and they're not even doing this project. It's unprecedented, you know? So that's kind of how it works. So, but Soul Styles, that's kind of why I want to have these conversations, because how would you know that? How would you know that? You're like, well, tell me who the cast is in, and then I'm in. Fair question. But I also want to let you know kind of how it works. So that way you can say, and I can tell you, because then people will also say, well, wait a minute. You said you needed this to hit, to make the show. I say, yeah, definitely. We'll make the show at that. But I'm telling you that if I get there, then I'm able to go after so-and-so to shoot this thing. I can go after their rate. I can go after so-and-so. I didn't even think that I would be able to make an offer to that person. But because I did that, now I can make an offer to that person to be in the show and potentially get them to be in the whole season. That's where the business side of it comes. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. I love these questions. The ones that's coming up here too. And this is Fargonaut. Stupid non-movie question, but do you snore? And if so, is it loud? Not as much as I used to. I think because I've been eating better and because I've been working out, I don't, you know what? This is a great question. Let me ask my wife. Call Sadie Harloff. Hold on a second. Let me see. Tell her she's a... Let me see. She picks up. Sometimes she picks up, sometimes she doesn't. She usually picks up when I call her, though.
Stop.
Hey, you're on, are we sleeping? Oh, you're on the air. You're on the air. So if you're not, I'll call you later. I'll call you later. All right. I think she's watching a movie. She was sad. All right. I won't do that. So that doesn't work. But I think that I think I sleep. I think I have been snoring less. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Next, but do I talk in my sleep? I don't talk in my sleep. No. Or sleepwalk would be funny if you did. No, I don't, but it would be funny. Joyous. Hey, Kristian, I will drop 100 for the pilot regardless if it's December or later. Thank you. Okay, that's good to know. Look, like I said, there are going to be those tiers where people like yourself do something like that, and we're going to offer a lot at that tier, right? So, and I was looking at Stuckman's thing and going, okay, so he had X amount of people donate 25. He had X amount of people donate 50. He had X amount of people do that, and he hit his initial goal in a day. And so, I want to do that, and like I said, I want to start and say we're going to hit this. But yeah, I'm being honest with you. I want to hit this because of what I just told you of where we can take the show if we hit that. But let's aim for this and let's see. Eclipse. Mostly speaking for any musicians in the community, but would you be open to supporters composing for the show? I don't know yet. I don't want to tell you yes or no because I don't know yet. And I don't know. I want to leave to the director and producer side of things. That's why we have this incredible team. So I don't know the answer to that yet, Eclipse. I'm not sure. 108. Amazing. Let's see. What's next? Okay. I'm looking. We got some more. We did. Fargonaut. I wonder what your snoring used to sound like in comparison to what it sounds like now. If you're still snoring, or what's the snoring? What's the snoring fascination? I'm not sure. I don't know. But it's like, it was like, I guess. It was pretty bad, I guess. All right. 108. I like it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. I can't wait to talk to you guys more about this project. And again, we were small but mighty here today. And just wait. Like I said, if you're watching on replay or on Spotify, Spotify, leave a lot of comments. What would you want to see? Like, okay, no, you know what? I wasn't sure now, but if you do this, I'm in. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. We'll be back here tomorrow with capes and cowls. Fargan, I just find it funny. You snoring is funny. Okay. Hey, to each their own. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. We'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is.